In this video I'm going to show you how I made this homemade chest strap mount for my Contour Roam2 point of view camera. So it's the 28th of February 2014 and tomorrow I'm going to be catching a bus which will take me to Ottawa. And the reason I'm going to Ottawa is because Ottawa is the home of the Rideau Canal, which is the world's largest skating rink. It's a very long canal that in the winter it freezes and they open it up for people to skate on. So it's a very, very long distance that you're able to skate back and forth along the canal. I posted a video about 3 years ago showing a similar trip that I did to the Rideau Canal back in 2011. And this year I'm hoping to film lots of video while I'm there as well. And I'm also hoping I can film a video which will show my point of view using my point of view camera, so I can show you what it's actually like to skate the full length of the canal. I'm going to bring with me my old ski helmet, which I used in my tobogganing video, that has my camera mount there on the top, so the camera just slides in there and it gets a really nice helmet cam sort of an idea. But I'm a little bit worried that while I'm skating my head will be moving around a fair bit and it won't get a very steady shot. I've heard from a few different sources that for various different activities you actually get quite a bit better success by mounting a camera like this to your chest in this sort of area here, because your chest stays a lot more steady than your head does when you're doing some sort of an activity, and I think for skating that probably applies. The point of view camera that I have is made by a company called Contour, and this model here is the Contour Roam2. So as far as I can tell, Contour doesn't make any sort of a chest strap that you can buy for mounting these type of cameras. I did see a video that somebody posted where they used a GoPro strap and they bought a bunch of adapters and things so they can mount one of these on it. To me that seems like a pretty expensive option because the GoPro strap itself is probably pretty expensive, and then all those adapters on it as well. And also I'm going tomorrow and I don't really have time to order those kind of things. So I'm going to try my hand at building one from scratch, just using the sort of things that I have laying around at home. So here's the design that I'm going to try and build, and it's all just made out of things that I had that were laying around in my apartment. So this strap here I'm going to use is going to go wrap around my chest, and it's going to hold the rest of this bracket here snugly against my chest. And so I got this strap that just came from an old camera case that I had. It had this long strap on it that I really never used, so I just took it off and put it in my junk drawer, and now hopefully I'm going to be able to make use of it. So it's got these two plastic clips on the end which will clip into these two metal eyelets which will get held into either side of this flat piece of wood here. So this flat piece of wood, when these are clipped in, will be snugly held against my chest. And attached to that piece of wood, I've got a metal bracket which will help hold this scrap of plywood that I had right there. And then the camera is going to sit on top of that, and I'm going to drill a hole through the bottom of the plywood there, which will meet up with the tripod mount hole, which is in the bottom of the Contour Roam Sport camera. And through that hole I'm going to put this bolt, which is a thumb screw bolt, which is really convenient, which will go in there. It's the same threads as that, and it's going to snugly hold the camera to the piece of plywood. And I'm also going to do it so that the bottom of the camera is still going to be touching the back, so that'll keep it from moving from side to side as well. So this is pretty much the idea that I was going for, and the piece of wood that I ended up choosing worked out quite well. It's pretty much the exact right size because on my rib cage here there's a little bit of a flat section, right in the middle where all the ribs meet. There's kind of a a flat sort of a plate that's right there, and this fits really comfortably right against it, so it's not really uncomfortable to wear, and as you can see it stays quite stationary with my chest. And I actually bend this bracket down here a little bit inwards because I found that when I had this so that it was sitting up against my chest, I found that it was kind of tilted back a little bit. So I basically just leveled this out by bending this down a little bit before I screwed it all in there. So now I'm just going to add one more screw which will come through the back here and hold the plywood a little bit more secure. And I'm just going to use my countersinking bit to put a little countersink on that hole there. so that the screw that sits on the back will stay flush. Of course, you can achieve the same thing just by, tightening that screw really down tight, but I'm a little bit concerned about doing that because I don't want the wood to split on the grain there. Like so, and then I'll just install that screw in there. And now it's complete. Alright, so let's try mounting this camera onto the bracket here. So I've got my thumb screw so it's pushed through. I added this washer on the back, which will help protect the wood a little bit for when tightening and loosening the thumb screw up against it. And I made sure I made the hole for this so that it was, just barely snug enough so that I'm able to just kind of be able to, pull this through, and but not so loose that it's really, floppy in there. So we'll just try putting the camera on there. So as I said, there's a a nice tripod hole right on the back, which fits really nicely up against there. And we'll just tighten this on. Until it gets snug. And there we go. We've got the camera mounted on the bracket. Let's try mounting the bracket on my chest. Alright, so there it is mounted on my chest, and it still feels quite comfortable. I don't really feel the weight from it, and as you can see, it's quite stationary. It doesn't really shake around very much. It pretty much just follows whatever my body does, and I think it's going to work out pretty well. But to see how well this actually works, I recommend going and checking out my videos, which will be from tomorrow, which will be my first test of this camera mount when I go skating on the Rideau Canal. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.